Hello, everybody, and welcome to the KERMACO stream. We'll be starting here in just a minute. I have to do a few things here before we get started. Right. Right, so like, subscribe, do all the internet things, please. I need to get the coverage on my YouTube channel, if that's where you're watching it. And if you're watching this on Twitch and live, that's great. You can always ask me questions in the chat. And with that, let's get going. All right, so we're still working on this dragon. Let me change my material here to... What? Okay, let me see here. Maybe this one. Here we go. Okay, let's change the color to this. And, okay. So, yeah, we're going to be working on this dragon today. I might kind of shift over and work on the knight as well. So here's this guy. We might work on him. And yeah, so I'll probably just be playing music and working, and I'll be looking at the chat every now and again just to see if you guys have any questions, and I'll answer them then. If you are watching this on YouTube and you have a question, you can always leave it in the comments, and hopefully I'll get some sort of a notification and check to see if I'll see it, and then I'll just answer it in the comments as well. Or I'll probably cover it in the next stream. I don't know. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get back to the dragon. Where are you? Right, and I'm just wondering why the color here is not changing. It should, but let me make sure here in the material if I have enabled that. Okay, and the materials, okay, here's the first color. It should be, yeah, it should be fine. But for some reason, it's not taking the, when I change the color here. So I'm going to do this one more time, and this is kind of a good, I guess, teaching moment, is that if you want the color of your object and the material to change as you're changing materials and colors, you can shift your color entirely to white, as well as your material to flat objects, or flat color, sorry. And then in the plugins here, in Sept Master brush. And by the way, I am using ZBrush 2026, and I don't know if you can see it here. I'll move my window down. So this is a newly released ZBrush 2026, which has some really cool features and capabilities. And I beta tested it, so I guess this would be a good time to let me get this one process should be started, and then we can go ahead and continue the rest of it. So something that's funky with Sept Master is, for some reason, the window is coming out here, and the buttons are coming out here, and they know about it, so it's just a little glitch that needs to be fixed. Anyway, so now I'm basically doing fill object. Let me do this one more time. Fill, and I'm using color and material, so I'm filling everything with the flat color material as well as the white color. So let's go ahead and say okay. And there. So now if I change my material back to a different material, like let's say, I don't know, this blend material, and if I change my color, the color should change, but for some reason it's not. And I think I might have disabled something. No. Switch color, no. Alternate, no. I wonder, I mean, if I do fill object, it works, but it should just fill the object with that. And I think maybe, yeah, no, RGB, everything here seems right. Yeah, I don't know why this is happening, but it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the flat material, and pick a color I want to work with, like something like maybe this kind of a color, like a beige color, or like, here we go, something like that. Actually, I'm going to try and use this Monster Clay Gray color. So I'm just going to pick that color as my color. Like maybe that. Okay, that's a good color right there. And then I'm just going to go to the flat color here, or for our flat color material, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and do another fill object with the color and material and just get everything in that color. And looks like I've got some mask stuff in here, which is fine. And then just go to my this material here, and this is kind of a good one to work with. Another thing I want to do is I want to change this background color to something a little bit lighter, maybe something like that. And yeah, so I'm just going to continue working on this dragon some more and getting some details done. And I keep going back and forth with the mouth structure here. I kind of like this one, but I also have something in my reference that I like, so I might make yet another change to that same thing. Another couple of things I need to do here. Sorry, I missed a stream the Friday before. Actually, last Friday and the Friday before I didn't stream just because I had a few things come up, but it's going to get me a little bit of time to kind of get reoriented. Okay, so preferences, and what I want to do here is go to, not performance, but go to, where are you? This thing over here, cam view. And reduce the size to maybe 150. Something like that. Okay, good. We are good to go now, and we can start sculpting. All right, so I'm going to use, I'm going to go to brush here and pick a geo brush. Actually, before I do that, let's, I want to work on the teeth today. That's kind of one of my goals, and then also want to work on that. So one of the things you notice right off the bat in this new version of ZBrush is that, and this shows up more if you are using ZModeler, is they've really done an amazing job with selection of polygons. Like, see, when I hover on a polygon, it selects it. And if I hover on a point, it kind of makes a kind of a nicer point. So they've made a huge difference in how you are pointing to polygons and vertices. And again, just a minor thing, but definitely a very welcome addition to ZBrush. Okay, so now I'm just going to go over here. I just reduced this to the least most subdivision level, so I'm at subdivision level 1. And I'm going to switch over to the move tool here, and I just think this bottom part of the jaw is a little bit, I think it could use a little bit more heft. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I mean, in addition to this thing breathing fire, it also probably chomps on things that it eats, or things it attacks. So I'm going to make this just a little bit, not too much, but a little bit thicker here. And what I mean with thicker, I mean wider. I should be more precise in what I'm saying. Right. And I'm going to go to Damien Standard here. And notice, even though I'm very low res, I can use Damien Standard to really define some kind of protrusions. Maybe go up one more subdivision level here. Okay, so this is good. I'm liking this, but what I also want to do, let me choose a different mask here. And what I want to do is just pull this part down. Oops. Okay. All right, that's good. And now let's see if I can. I think I did this earlier, but for some reason I might have switched to a different version. So what I want to do here is separate out the bottom and top parts of the jaw so I can work on them individually. And I don't know if I just did this where I pulled this out or if it was the case from before. Here, I'm just going to take this back in time for a little bit. Nope, it was there from before. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just select the bottom part of this mouth. Maybe all the way down to the neck here. and polygroup it. Okay, that's weird. It's polygrouping, but it's also smoothing, but that's not what I want. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see here. I'll see if I can just do this in the menu. See if we've got a setting or something going on. Okay, so view mask is on. Okay, mask. I think it might be under polygroup, not masking. Okay, so polygrouping, polygroups. Yep, it's down here. Okay, so group mask. Okay, so the polished is all the way to 1. I don't want it to be at 1, so group masked. That's exactly what I wanted right there. And then now you can see that the mask is kind of, or the polygroup has kind of gone up to this area, and I don't really want that. Man, it picked a polygroup. Okay, here we go. This is better. Okay, so now I just want to, I could take either one of the two, and then Control Shift X to grow it out until it reaches the other point. So here, Control Shift S to go the other direction. Control W, let's bring everything back. Okay, I've got a little bit more here. This part right here, I kind of want to have it be a different I guess at this point I'm just going to go and do it manually by using Z-modeler. So polygroup, single poly, shift to absorb the color, and then just to place it down. I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything for edge or point actions. And just manually separate out this part. I could have probably automated this, but it's really not that big of a deal. I can probably even do the probably use the poly loop on it as well. There. All right, I think this is good enough. Right, and let me turn double on so we can see the inside. Okay, it is, but I don't know why this part here decided to go with it, so not a problem. Let me hide this as well. And I kind of want to get to the middle part of the mouth here. And I'm thinking about what the best way to do this is. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and that's what it was. It was the reason why I got the, these things here selected is because I did the poly loop, and I guess the loop went all the way into here. And will this be good enough just to do the teeth? Let's see. I want to grow it out a bit. Okay, let's do this. Control Shift S or X, sorry. And I'm going to choose the select lasso. Okay. All right, I think I know I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do that and just select this part. I'm just going to give this its own polygroup here, and then when I select this one, oops. The thing is, with select let's add this to it. Group these together, and then this is the other part, and this is exactly what I want. Okay. All right, so now I can work on each part separately. So I'm going to hide the top for now, out of the way, and I'm just going to work on the bottom. One of the things I noticed here is that there's a little bit of intersection happening between the inside and the outside. So a good way to fix that is with the inflate brush. Just make sure they're not that close to each other. All right, I think they're good. Maybe a little bit more over here. I've got click to solo on. That's why sometimes like the rest of the stuff appears and then goes away. All right, so I do have some teeth in here, but I don't think I'm going to use them. I think I'm going to start the teeth process completely over. I had some in here just as a placeholder for them, and so I'm just not going to be using a lot of these teeth. Maybe I'll use this bottom part, and then there are some mouth parts here that I might not use as well. Okay, not that. What is this? All right, is that in the teeth part? No, it's up here. Okay, let's hide that. Let's go back into here. Okay, so this bottom part, that's what that is. Let me go to it. I think I want to use that part, but is that part combined with other things, or is it on its own? All right, I think it's on its own. That's good. And then there are some other teeth that are showing up. I think they're these ones. All right, good, good, good. All right, and let me turn symmetry off for this. Go to the center, resize it. This is kind of just the bottom part of the teeth, and just want it to kind of go over here, and I should add some gums to this. Let's see, let me solo this out. I think this is a Dynamesh piece. It should be. It is. Turn symmetry on. Let me mirror and weld it just to make sure. This mesh has layers. Why does this even have layers? Okay, let's get rid of them. Bake all. Mirror and weld. Okay. All right, I'm going to delete these hidden parts. I think I'm going to take these headphones off. It's too hot. I can't wait till it's nice and cold again so I can wear them. All right, here we go. So I want these to kind of be gums as well as maybe have some teeth on there, but I might just reduce them just to being gums. So I can just pop. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so let's chop this out. And I'm just creating this so I could have some gums to grow the teeth out of. Again, this is all Dynamesh. Right. Okay. That's good. I'm going to turn transparency and ghost on so I can work through this and make sure okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with the top part. Now the top part has more of a area here on its own. That could be the gums. I think I'm going to do gums anyway. All right, and the way I'm going to do that is just by taking this thing that we just created. And duplicating it. And then turning off symmetry, make sure we're in the center, and just rotate it this way. Okay, there it is. And I'm not going to autosave right now. And this would be the top part. Let's make sure symmetry is on. And right now it kind of looks like he's just, the dragon's just got lips. Kind of looks funny. Right, and I'm going to just hide this bottom part for now. While I'm at it, I'm just going to rename this lips or gums bottom. And the other one should be named gums top. Hide the bottom gums, and then let's just work on these top ones. And get a good placement for them right here. Okay. Okay, so now if I go back to here, bring that back, bring the bottom gums back, let's see what all that looks like. And let's see, it's not what I wanted this. Okay, so there we go. I have gums bottom, gums top, and that's what it's looking like. So now what I want to do is I want to open the mouth. And since I did this work, I can easily do that by just going ahead and masking this part and then going in here, putting this to where the jaw would open. Why did it mask the whole thing? Okay, invert that mask. Okay, we're in business. Let me see if I can just, there we go. Maybe a little bit this way, and then just pick a different mask here, and I want to mask just this part. Oops. I'm just going on. Okay, and I want to mask this part. Please tell me that bottom part isn't masked. It's not. Okay, invert the mask, and then now just go over here and open it up like that. Okay, so now we've got the dragon's mouth open, more or less, and I'm going to lift this up a little bit like that. Okay. To relax some of these edges. And also let's turn stuff happened inside as well. Easy fix. And you can see I'm doing this at subdivision level 2, even though this dragon has maybe 3 or 4 more subdivision levels in addition. This is where the kind of the gas would come for the fire. Okay. All right, so now we've got the mouth open. The only other place I need to fix is over this area. I'm going to go all the way down to subdivision level 1 to smooth that out and continue to do that. All right, so now the lips make more sense. If I just move this up, position it over here. And that same with the bottom. All right, so that creates a good kind of bed for teeth. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to color these. I'm going to actually add a little bit of a color to them. I want to turn polyframe off. Okay, so there are these kind of gums. Again, these are just Dynameshed. I don't know if I'm on the right one. They're just Dynameshed gums, so it's easy to just kind of get them to where I want them to go. And then I will, once they're established, I can maybe, zero mesh them or do whatever is needed. All right, so this is a kind of a gummy looking, old man looking dragon. Okay, so bottom gums, let me just smooth these a little bit of the stuff out in the top. Okay, so now for teeth. All right, so for teeth, I just need to go in here and make one. So I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to just pick the cone. Actually, I think there's an IMM brush. Let me, I think there's an IMM brush, BI, that's got like teeth and monster parts. I'll see if I can find one. IMM Tune, Spaceship, Primitives, Model Kit. Winter zippers. I think it's one of these guys. I think it's this one. Let's be sure this one. Tune. Yeah, this one's got some interesting parts in it. Then maybe there's a tooth. Boots. Nose. Ears. Sorts of stuff. Oh, it's got teeth, but not like sharp teeth. I do have an IMM brush that I got from something King a while back. Let me see if I can get to that. Brushes. And IMM. I think it was called Bad King or something like that, and I think I have them here somewhere. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to find this kit, brush kit. I wish there was like a search thing you could search. I guess I could use the whatchamacallits, the XMD toolkit, but I don't know if it works well with this version of ZBrush. I haven't tested it yet, so I'm not going to chance it. Okay. Right, I don't see it in this set. Is it under IMM? Curve? No. How about IMM? Oh, just normal brushes. I don't think it's here, but I'll check anyway. No. I think I just didn't see it. I'll check one last time, and then if I don't find it, we'll just move on. Kit Bash 2016. Oh, here it is. Bad King. There it is. All right, found it. Okay, we have hydraulics, weapons, mech arms, mech wings. Okay, this is not it. And I wonder if I have something else, Bad King. All right, so I'll just make it from scratch. It's not that hard. See if there's anything interesting in here. Oh, wait. Is this dragon horns? And okay, might be here. Oh no, I think these are VDM, vector displacement map brushes. All right, I've been meaning to go in and reorganize my brushes, and I haven't done it, so I have to, because of that, I have to actually, what's this, insert IMM, maybe it's in here. IMM dragon bones. All right, let's see if there's something in here that's interesting. There's plenty of interesting stuff in here. Let me just press M. Okay, so there are all these kind of things. They're teeth. There we go. Wing assembly. No, that's not right. Kind of looks like a tooth. teeth full assembly. All right, well, what if I choose one of those? All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go over here to this, and I'm going to do mesh from brush, and I think I have a shortcut to that here somewhere. Right, mesh from brush. Where are you? Is it here? Yep, here it is. Okay. So this is kind of what that looks like. And I'm trying to figure out what the orientation of this is. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to use all of these. I might just pick one, and then that's going to be my tooth. I mean, I could have made it from scratch, of course, but why not just use what's in ZBrush? Okay, this one's kind of weird because it's not capped. All right, screw it. I'll just make one. All right, so here, delete. Always okay. All right, let's go back to our dragon. Where are you, dragon? Before I do that, I just want to do one other thing here. Just want to even out that jaw. Okay, because it was bugging me. All right, here we go. Back to the gums. All right, let's make a tooth. So here I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to delete all these teeth that I have just because I'm not going to need them. I've got this thing here, which I will use. Actually, this is a better version of the gums than what I had. And I don't know if this thing is Dynameshed or what, but let me take a look at it. It is kind of Dynameshed. It's kind of a neat thing that's already done. So I'm going to, after all the work on these guys, I'm going to delete this. And I'm also going to delete that, and I'm going to have this be the basis of the gums, which seems to work better. And I don't know where I got this from or how it came to be. Is it Dynameshed? It is. I'm going to Dynamesh it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think this will work a lot better. Choose the inflate brush and start inflating it. And I don't even care about the teeth that this thing is kind of showing, but I'll just leave them there as placeholders. Eventually I'll just be replacing them with real teeth. Okay, so I've got one of these on the bottom. I'm just going to duplicate it and make one on top. There we go. starting to look pretty gnarly. Why didn't it do mirror and weld? Once again, layers. Why are there layers? All right, just bake all. Same thing with the bottom one, layers as well. And let's get rid of them. Okay, so this is kind of just a placeholder for the teeth, and then I'm just going to make the teeth. So first I'm going to make the teeth that are in the front. And easy enough, all I do is just go ahead and append here. Or insert a Polymesh 3D, there it is. And what we're going to do with that Polymesh 3D, which I don't know where it is, there it is load my insert or my primitives brush and just choose a sphere, just this very simple 16-sided sphere. Go to move here. And let's make this a bit bigger. All right, and all I'm going to do with this is just make a tooth with it. So I'm just going to mask this top part, push this down, let's turn the symmetry on. Here we go. Oops. I think this is good. I don't know if it's got enough geometry. I might add some edge loops here. I think I'm just going to use slice to do it. Slice curve. Add one there, one there, one there. I don't really need polygroups. Okay, maybe one more here. All right, dragon tooth. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mirror and weld it in all directions. So mirror and weld X and not Y, but Z, just so it's even. Uh-oh. Create two, it did. Let's move this to the center of the world. And do that one more time. Okay, just so it's even. Just a little bit of an additional part here, but I don't think it matters. Oops. Okay. I don't really like this little pole it created over here, so let's see. What would be the fastest way of fixing this? I think I'm just going to use ZModeler and see, spinning the edge will work. Spin, and one more time. Nope. No, I made a mess of it. Okay, so I'm just going to use stitch, or not stitch, but split. And I'm going to turn symmetry off for now, and I'm going to, Okay, so this is allowed to click is really neat, but when you need to just do a click to do one of these guys, all right, I think I've got a split point on edge split. Here we go. From here to here. Why did that not work? All right, split. Do nothing. Why is that not working? It's weird. I don't have subdivision levels. I might have to figure out a different way to do this in a minute. All right, I have a different idea of how to do this. So I'm just going to delete these polygons like so. Oops. And then just bridge this to here. Same. All right, and then I'm just going to insert an edge loop, and I want it to snap to half. One of the new things they added is the ability to crease these as well. So if you see here, they added this before. So half, quarter, and custom, and then now they have do not crease and crease edges, which is kind of neat. All right, one last step here, which is to stitch these guys together. So I'm going to turn the symmetry on for that, not Z, just X. Stitch these two. Oh. What's going on with this? Symmetry, right? Nope. So you need to have Z symmetry and not X. Okay, and then I'm just going to choose this point and stitch it to this point. Right, and then this. Another way to do this that'll be easy is just to delete these two polygons and bridge these guys. Okay. Bridge here to here, here to here. All right, this is what I've been wanting this whole time. So activate symmetry, mirror and weld X and Z, and we are good to go. Okay, and the other thing I also don't want is I don't want this little thing here. So I think that is also going to cause problems later on. So the way to fix that, let's see if collapse works. Okay, so I'm just going to pick this edge and I'm going to say collapse edge poly loop. Right. That kind of did it, but then now it messed this area up down here. Nope. All right, so I'm halfway there. Last but not least, I'm just going to delete this. And I'm just going to bridge these two holes. I think I'll be done with that one. Okay, so here, bridge two holes, this one and this one. Okay. Right, added some extra edge loops there. I don't mind them as much. Okay, so finally we have our tooth. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this tooth is I'm just going to pop it in this way. Oh, look at that. Okay, something like this. And I'm just going to create an insert mesh brush with it. Okay, so I don't know why these all opened up earlier. Brush, create insert mesh, new. Okay, so now I've got this tooth as just an insert mesh brush. While I am at it, okay, and let's just go ahead and go to here. go to our gum. All right, so now I just go and draw, and that just adds the tooth over there, right? Just simple as that. All right, let's turn click to solo back on. Where did it go? That's weird. Oh, that's where it went. Okay. All right. Oh, let's get this back to where it belongs. Okay, so that's the tooth I just added, was over the one over here. I'm going to turn polyframe off. And let's have these teeth be yellow, so we can see them. I can either insert another one, but if I want one to be the exact same size, I'm just placing the gizmo where I want it to be. And if I want the exact same size, I'll just use Control and drag one out. And now I'm assured that it's going to be the same size, more or less. All right, let's bring the rest of the dragon up just to see what these are looking like. All right, so another thing I want to do now is I want to separate these out from the gums. I guess I did get a bit of the gums here. Let's go back to select rectangle here and just make sure we get just the teeth, split hidden. These teeth are a bit too small. Let's make them bigger. Split mass points. Here we go. First, I'm just going to create the two, kind of like the vampire tooth, kind of big. Sure, there's a anatomical name for it. I think the canines, I think that's what they're called. I'm going to create the canines first. And these will probably like stick out. Give them a little bit of a bend. Using the plate brush here. So this tooth looks good. All right, so now I'm just going to get rid of these teeth. Those ones look good. All right, let's do another one here. Now, another thing I could also do okay, I think that's working out okay. Well, let's go ahead and choose our toothbrush here. Toothbrush, funny. Okay, and delete lower. Okay. Split mask points. Use Control to create another copy. Split mask points. This is a little bit too much here. They're still symmetrical, but at some point I will go and break symmetry on the teeth because nothing looks more CG than if you have symmetrical teeth. right, let's go back to the gums. And I don't know how this thing got a color, but let's just go ahead and fill it. Here we go. It's something darker. Okay. I'm going to Dynamesh this, but maybe get a little bit more resolution. Let's see, what is the resolution of it here? Dynamesh. Right. All right, I'm liking how this is turning out. Some pretty powerful canine action going over here. All right, I think I'm going to let this thing autosave or quick save while I have some tea. This is a bit of a huge file, so it's going to take a few more minutes to save. Okay. Now these teeth are looking pretty good. rows of teeth, but I think this is good enough for the top for now. And I'm going to switch down to the bottom. I'm going to chop off these guys. Okay, delete hidden. Why is this not dynameshing? Okay, here we go. Oh. I think I want to keep the resolution to what this is. So when I dynamesh it, make sure I've got the right masking brush. I'm thinking of possibly streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch to see if I can get more of a, because when I stream on here, even though it's pretty straightforward, I feel like I probably will get a bigger audience on YouTube, just because I think Twitch is more gaming. But who knows, maybe things will change. I should also publicize my streams so people can watch it more online. It takes a while for one of these things to take hold. And I'm okay with that. All right. Besides, the main reason of why I do this, as much as I want to answer questions and help the community, it's also gives me the chance to work on a personal project while I have other work projects. This makes it so I always also can work on my own personal things as well, and try some new things. I usually get hired for all sorts of different projects, and and I still have not been hired to make a dragon, so this gives me the opportunity to make one. All right, so let's go ahead and pick out our toothbrush here. Color. Now I have the depth here on my brush not set correctly, so I just fixed that by using this depth thing, which is in the brush menu. And oh, what? Split mask points. Of course, these colors are not what it's going to stay at. I'm just using those temporarily just to be able to distinguish between the teeth and the gums and the lips. Okay, all right, this is looking good. Again, using Control to just make a copy of that. I'm going to split the mask points. And with this new teeth. Okay. Right, I'm going to again use the gizmo to just copy those teeth that I had. Split mask points. Now I've got a new set over here. Again, I'm keeping it symmetric for now, but I will break the symmetry in a little while. I don't know if I'll get around to it today, but I will. think there's a function here, and I forget which one it is, but there is a function that allows me to I think it's under geometry and repeat dissimilar parts. Yeah, there was a function that allowed me to kind of place one of these and then place another one and then have a bunch of them. I want to say it's the repeat function, but let me see if I can remember. Great thing about ZBrush is it's got a lot of features. And then also the great thing about ZBrush is that you have to remember the exact feature that you need. If you haven't used it for a while, I haven't used this for a while, but what was it? I think it's the repeat something or another. Maybe under stroke, let's see. Modify sculptress, lazy mouse, curve functions, inventory. I think this might be it. See if this is it. Stroke. No. Yeah, I don't think this is it. All right, I'll just do it manually. I'll look it up, but I don't want to do that while I'm on the stream. And I'm going to create like 2 rows of teeth here. There's like some gnashing. Action going on. Okay, and then just duplicate these 2. Again. And again. And again. And now I'm basically working in all of these together at the same time. I'm still symmetrical, but it's fine for now. Okay. It's wild that this whole session is going to be the teeth. It's cool though. All right, and now what I could also do is just duplicate these. So I'm just going to do Control drag down, split masked points, and then just flip this around. Actually, probably a better way to flip it would be this way. Okay, didn't have symmetry on, but not a problem. Oops. Okay, now we're good. Okay. All right. Let's refine these gums a bit to conform to these teeth. Should merge these gums together. I'll leave them separate for now. All right, what I'm going to do here is going to start. I'm going to change the color of these teeth to maybe a little bit more white. That's a good start. Here I'm just using shift to make them a little bit thinner. And what I'm going to do also, just to add more teeth here, let's see, which one do we have? The top ones. What I'm going to do is create another copy of them. Split masked points. And now I have a whole other set of teeth here. Now there's a nice trick to arranging the teeth, because right now they look like they're really kind of in parallel rows and I want to move them around. So for that I will go to the move brush. However, I will turn on topological, and that way I'm just moving one tooth at a time. And this very quickly allows you to actually, I think it's okay if I merge these together. Just turn polyframe on to make sure I'm doing it to the right ones. This one and this one. Nope. Okay. So these ones are the bottom ones. That's exactly why I did this. And these ones are the top ones, I think. Yeah. Okay, and then all right, so these are the two I need to merge. So merge down. Okay. All right, so I have these as a single set now. And since I have topological on here, I'm just working on one at a time. So see now how they're like arranged in a row. And if I don't want that, I can start moving them in and outwards as well. So I'm individually working on each tooth, even though they're all part of the same subtool. Another thing I'm doing here is they're all kind of, you don't want them all to be kind of pointing exactly in the same direction. So some of them could be pointing outwards and some of them pointing inwards. Shift and inflate are good to create like more pointy teeth. So yeah, this is looking a lot more realistic, and I'll be kind of doing the same for the front area in a little while. But I just want to make these work first. I think I'm going to call this one the dentist episode. Pretty happy with the top teeth here. Let me solo them out. See, they're still kind of very much in a row. Here I'm adding a little bit of randomness to it. All right, and now I'm going to make all the edges a little bit sharper, and for that I'm going to use inflate, and with Alt it kind of brings these more to a tip. So I hold Alt down. I mean, Shift does it, but Shift kind of softens it, and I want a kind of a nice sharp edge. Right, so I'm going to approach the segregation from the top view here. To give a little bit of randomness to the order and arrangement. All right, that looks good. Oh yeah. So I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom teeth here. If I really had the time and wanted to do it, I would make these teeth more serrated, kind of like a shark's teeth. So here I'm just going to do the control drag and create another set of these guys and just have them be together. Again, I've got the topological on over here, so I can individually move these guys around. And basically the story is you land in this thing's mouth. There's no way you're getting back out. Whether you're a human or a sheep or a cow. It will just grab onto you and mince you up. Call you dinner. For some reason, the bottom teeth look a lot thinner than the top ones. And I think it's because you used inflate on, oops, too much. So probably these things are like sharks where they, I'm going to turn topological off here because I want to make more of a sweeping change to all of them. Now all these teeth are going to be pointing inwards because they just, when they grab something, they're going to, you know, not want to lose it. Right, and we're getting close to time here, and I think we did quite a bit of progress on the teeth and the mouth. Right, so yeah, I think that'll do it. All right, so moving back on to the jaw here. Oh yeah. Where's the rest of this dragon? Let's turn the rest of the stuff on. Where are the eyes? Did I turn the eyes off for some reason? I don't know where they are. Please tell me I didn't accidentally remove the eyes. I mean, I can always get... Oh, here we go. Here they are. Here they are. Where are they showing up? Oh, you know what? That's what happened, is that since I opened the mouth, that's why the eyes moved. Or they didn't move. They stayed where they were. Just the head moved. So let me bring the eyes out about here. I'm really liking the silhouette here of this. Maybe make this a little bit tighter over here. Okay. Right, so we basically spent most of the day today making the teeth and the mouth, and I think I'm pretty much happy with kind of the back area here. I probably will be adding some more teeth in the front, but I'll probably do that off camera, or maybe not, who knows. We'll see how we feel a couple of Fridays from now, so not next Friday but the one after. And hopefully some of you will join me live when I do that. So I think the next one will be, let me tell you the date. So today, it'll probably be October the 3rd is when I'll be doing that one, right? Okay, so with that, I want to wish everybody a good day or evening or whatever time of day you have. And happy ZBrushing, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.